Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Team Tuesday. This week we have with us Sara Di Gregorio. Hey, Sara, welcome back.
Wow, ciao. Good morning.
Good morning indeed. So Tuesday is Team Tuesday, and we'll talk about teams in a second. But first, tell us, what's the book that most inspired you in your career as a Scrum Master?
Well, the book that had a deep impact on me, it's Not Violent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. In Italian, the title is translated as Words Are Windows or They Are Walls. I read this book many years ago. The book explores how to listen without judging, how to ask the right questions, and how to observe people in order to understand their real needs. But above all, it teaches you how to communicate in a way that builds connection rather than creating barriers. And it was very important for me to read it because I saw this book very practical. So it was not only reading, but I experiment a lot of things. So after the reading, I think that without this mindset, it's easy to fall into reactive communication. Trying to, for example, to defend, to justify, or give quick answers. But that often blocks real understanding. For example, I tried to be more patient. The book so helped me to shift from reacting to connecting, which completely changed the quality of conversation. I always tried to do quick answers because for me it was important to give quick answer, but I understood that maybe reflect 1 minute, it's not a problem. So this is what I learned from this book. And as a Scrum Master, the skills for me are essential. We work with people every day. So, for example, facilitating meeting, mediating during meeting, supporting the team. And the way we communicate, it's very important because open the dialogue. We can help a lot the team to improve the dialogue and so discover, for example, from dependencies on the feature where they are working on, or only communicating into the communication into the team. That's why I believe every Scrum Master should read this book.
Absolutely.
It helps you a lot.
And we have a few episodes. I'll put the link in the show notes, specifically about NVC. Quite a few episodes for those that want to dive deeper into the topic. And I totally agree with you. I think NVC should be mandatory reading for all Scrum Masters. Also because it allows us to not relate in a, you call it defensive and so on, not relate in a reactive way to what is happening, but rather to allow the people and the teams to help each other, because in the end we're helping them to help each other, right? To help each other go through even difficult situations. And I think there's a few examples in the book that are much higher stakes than anything we do, where through those methods, people were able to reach positive outcomes for the conflicts that they were part of, and I think that's a great set of tools. So definitely love the recommendation there, Sara. And of course, sometimes we need to apply these NVC skills also with the teams that we work. Although sometimes the NVC skills aren't enough either. Teams are not free from self-destructing. And that's the topic we want to explore. Not because of what happened, but rather to understand what were the patterns in play, what were the things happening, so that we may be able to detect those before it's too late when it finally happens to us as well. So, Sara, share with us the story of a team. Give us a little bit about the context, and then walk us through those small little behaviors or patterns that emerged in the team that eventually led to problems.
Okay. First of all, during, for example, the COVID period, a lot of people were working only in remote. It was not my case, but I read a lot of stories talking about team that was fully remote, but losing the real connection. Because I can understand that a bad habit that we can have, it's to be only working remotely without paying attention to the real connection that we have. So we can work remotely, but creating connections. So there are a lot of funny things that we can do during a period that we have to work fully remote. Or, for example, there are a lot of companies that now work fully remote. I think it's very important, and but we have to find a different way of interaction. Because we have to build the relationship and alignment. So we have to create opportunities for real interactions.
Do you have a specific team in mind, Sara? Like as you are describing the remote setting and of course the need to be able to adapt to that fact that we are a remote team. Do you have a specific team in mind that you can describe what was happening to that team and how you started to build this let's say ability to connect and understand even though the team was remote?
Yeah, my only example is about the COVID, because normally I work half in presence and half in remote. And at the beginning was very difficult to have all the people full-time remote. It was a news. It was new also for me. So I tried at the beginning to have normal meetings. So the same way we used to have when was in presence. But I saw that it was not working very well. So, for example, I started every meeting with, I don't know, like 5 minutes chatting. So, guys, how are you today? What's happened yesterday? So, to create that connection that we were losing because of the full remote working. So, to not meet every day during the working day at the office. Or sometimes we create like a coffee all together. Okay, so today with the team, we have 10 minutes all together drinking coffee. So at the beginning was a little bit difficult because people, I know, but I have a meeting, but I have, okay, so please guys, we have to find like 3 times per week to have a coffee all together. So only 10 minutes after lunch, for example. Or at the end of the meeting, we try to share some feedback, because I think that remotely was difficult to share that feedback that we normally share in front of the coffee machine. So I try to recreate this situation.
So what worked the best for you? So you already introduced a couple of ideas, and one of them was like having a chit chat. The other was about having like these special moments where we're not talking about work, but we're just talking with each other. What else did you try, and how did that work?
I think that sharing the feedback was very useful because when we work remotely, we only have meetings, so from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Okay, bye-bye, see you tomorrow. No, but it's important to introduce a moment, like a fixed moment during the week with person that we normally have more interactions or the person into our team to share feedback. Because it's important to say, okay, guys, for example, on Friday, okay, guys, so how was the week? You can have a one-to-one. I experimented both. So like a one-to-one with some people or with the team and said, okay, only has 30 minutes talking to understand if this week was nice, if we can improve something during the next week. So it was for me a way to recollect all the coffee machine communication that we were losing into these 30 minutes on Friday to say, okay, recap of the week. Try to understand if next week we can improve, if we had some misunderstanding during the week, if I can manage something in a different way. So we try to...
I'm sure there are many of our listeners out there that are right now facing this perhaps lack of comfort with the remote setting. Like, for example, something that I very often face with the teams that I work with, because I work with teams remotely mostly, is the lack of time for unstructured, just people-to-people interactions, right? Like we have some face-to-face meetings, let's say every 3 months or so, where we fly and we meet, but it's not the same because there's a lot of pressure of the things that need to happen in that 3 days, 4 days that we are together every quarter. So what do you think we could try? Like, what's an idea to try out for Scrum Masters out there who are feeling that the interactions with the team have become kind of mechanized, too formal, not enough people to people? What kind of tips do you have to share with us?
For me, was to have a meeting fixed on the agenda. So, for example, on Friday, and we can sometimes what we experimented was to have coffee on Friday morning. So before to start, like, okay, out 9 o'clock, we can meet. So before the daily scrum, so before everything, and say, okay, guys, so how was the week? So we tried to start this conversation with the team in a different way, to say, okay, it's Friday. So thinking about the aperitif for the night. Okay, it was at home, but I know that we had a lot of home aperitif in that period, and we tried to start in a very confidential way, but in the same time trying to talk about the past week. So it was very important to have this fixed moment in the morning in the agenda. It worked very well for me.
Yeah. And I really see that. And also, of course, everybody needs to find the way that works for them. But I think one critical thing for me when it comes to working with remote teams has been to find the moments where it feels like we're relating to each other as people, not here are the things I need you to do, let's talk next steps, because that kind of mechanizes the interaction. It removes the connection between people, and we always need that ability to have that connection between people so that we can tackle perhaps more urgent, perhaps more difficult topics, so that we need to build what we would call social capital with each other. And everybody does. It's not Scrum Masters only, right? Everybody does. But Scrum Masters can create the environment where that social capital can be built between people so that then harder situations are easier to tackle. Thank you for sharing that with us, Sara.
You're welcome. Thank you to you.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.